If you want to analyze stocks, it's important to understand some basic accounting. The income statement is a good place to start when analyzing a company. The purpose of the income statement is to show the profit of a business for the year based on the total sales and the cost of those sales. The income statement shows how a business did over a period of time. The time period can be annually or quarterly. We will break down Tesla's income statement from their 2019 annual report as an example. Here is Tesla's income statement, or as they call it, the Consolidated Statements of Operations from their 2019 annual report. First things first, it might look overwhelming now, but I promise it's not as bad as it looks. All of these numbers are in millions, so the number 19,000 is equal to $19 billion. The first section is titled Revenues. This is the total dollar amount customers paid Tesla for the year. You can see that they provide this amount for 2019, 2018, and 2017. Tesla separates their revenues into their different income streams to better help investors see where the money is coming from. But all you really need to focus on is the total revenues. So, for 2019, customers paid $19.952 billion for automotive sales, $869 million for automotive leasing, $1.531 billion for energy generation and storage, and $2.226 billion for services and other products. If you're not familiar with accounting, the bar below some numbers just means to total the numbers above. In accounting, you generally read from top to bottom, so the bar is used to total the numbers in the correct order. For 2019, Tesla's total revenues were $24.578 billion. You can see in 2018 they were $21.461 billion, and in 2017 they were $11.759 billion. The next section is called Costs of Goods Sold, or as Tesla calls it, the cost of revenues. These are the materials, labor, manufacturing, and transportation costs Tesla had to pay to make the cars, energy products, or services that they sold. Basically, think of everything it takes to make a Tesla car, from the metal frame and batteries, all the way to the people assembling the cars and the rent for the factories where they make them. For the income statement, this number only represents the products that were sold to customers. It doesn't include the costs that Tesla spent on cars or other products that haven't been sold yet. For Tesla's costs of goods sold, we can see that the total costs were $20.509 billion. If you notice, the revenues for services and other products are $2.26 billion, and the costs of services and other products are $2.77 billion. At this point, Tesla is losing money on the labor, materials, and manufacturing costs for this part of the business. After the costs of goods sold, you'll see the gross profit. This is just the revenue minus the costs of goods sold. So $24.578 billion minus $20.509 billion, equaling a gross profit of $4.069 billion for 2019. The costs of goods sold do not include the amount of money Tesla spent to market the products, design new products, or the money it costs to pay for the executives and corporate buildings. These costs are part of what is called operating expenses. The research and development section is the money Tesla spent on research to design and invent new cars and energy products. Think of this as the money Tesla is spending on designing the Cybertruck or even new cars and batteries that haven't been announced. The selling and general administrative expense is the money Tesla spent to advertise their products, pay Elon Musk and some other employees, and pay for the corporate buildings that executives and some employees use. The restructuring charge is a one-time expense Tesla paid to reorganize its operations. Tesla likely used the money to pay severance for employees who were laid off, discontinue a manufacturing plant, or discontinue research on a new product. So, the total operating expenses for Tesla in 2019 were $4.138 billion. The gross profit is less than the operating expenses, so instead of an operating profit, Tesla has an operating loss, or loss from operations, of $69 million in 2019. In accounting, the parentheses mean a negative number. If you noticed, the loss of $69 million is a lot less than the losses in 2018 and 2017. After the loss from operations, there are the interest and taxes paid. When a business takes on debt, they can deduct the interest they have to pay on it as an interest expense. So, they subtract what they paid from the income or loss from operations. Then, they pay tax on the difference. Tesla paid $685 million in interest on their debt in 2019. They also gained $44 million in interest income. Interest income is typically the interest a business gets from keeping their cash on hand in low-interest investments like treasury bills or notes. If you don't know what treasury bills or notes are, just think of them as a low-interest savings account. Other income or expenses can mean a lot of different things. In Tesla's case, it represents their income from a foreign currency losing value compared to the US dollar. For example, $1 may have been worth more euros in 2019 than a year before. After all interest and other income are added, you get the loss before income taxes. In the US, businesses only pay federal income tax on profit, not a loss like Tesla has. But Tesla is a global company, so some other countries, or even US states, may tax Tesla using a different standard. That's why it says they paid $110 million in income taxes. After accounting for this, Tesla had a net loss of $775 million after totaling everything thus far. But this number still doesn't show the whole picture. This part means that part of Tesla's profits is from a division of Tesla that has other businesses that own a small part of it. For example, another business might own a small part of Tesla's operations in another country. Even though Tesla is recording a loss overall, this $87 million is probably from a profitable division. This $87 million represents the other business's share of the profits Tesla made. After subtracting the $87 million, you will see Tesla's net loss for the stockholders was $862 million in 2019. Even though it looks like they lost a lot of money, this does not mean Tesla is doomed to fail. Many young companies wait a very long time to become profitable, and Tesla was no different. This is Tesla's annual report for 2019, so it is not as up to date as the quarterly reports. As of today, in late 2020, Tesla has been profitable for 5 quarters straight, meaning they no longer have a net loss on their income statement. At the bottom, you'll see the basic and diluted earnings or loss per share. Tesla's loss per share is calculated by dividing the net loss of 862 million by the shares outstanding. Shares outstanding is the total number of shares Tesla has issued. Shares outstanding are listed just below the loss per share, and the basic and diluted shares outstanding is 177 million shares. This means that in 2019, there were 177 million shares of Tesla in existence. Therefore, each share of Tesla had a loss of $4.92 in 2019. The diluted shares are normally included to show shareholders how much each share actually earned or lost. It's pretty common to award employees and management in stock awards. These stock awards add to the shares outstanding. So if Tesla were to award 1 million shares in 2019 to employees of the company, the diluted shares outstanding would be 178 million, and the diluted loss per share would be less than $4.92 per share, because there are more shares outstanding. The same happens if Tesla makes a profit. There will be less diluted earnings per share if the company awards stock to employees. This isn't necessarily a bad thing for shareholders, though, since awarding stock to employees and management helps align their goals with your goals as a shareholder and therefore the owner of the business. There are a lot of important ratios and other factors to consider when analyzing a stock's income statement. But that's basically everything you need to know to go out and read income statements for your own research. I hope this was helpful. Please leave a like and subscribe if you want more content like this. Leave any comments you have down below, and I'll see you again next time.